Last topic from the chapter, that is polarization of light. Before discussing about polarization of light, we have to know Maxwell's electromagnetic wave theory. Then, what is Maxwell's electromagnetic wave theory? According to Maxwell, light is an electromagnetic wave. So, why the light is called electromagnetic wave here? Because the light contains the vibrations of electric field vectors and also magnetic field vectors. According to Maxwell, light is an electromagnetic wave. So why it is called electromagnetic wave? Because the light contains the vibrations of electric field vector and magnetic field vector. Light contains the vibrations of electric field vector and the vibrations of magnetic field vector. Then, what is the diagram for electromagnetic wave? Then, supposed to be the electromagnetic wave is propagating along the x-axis. Then the vibrations of the electric field vector taken along the y-axis and the vibrations of the magnetic field vector taken along the z-axis. See, it is x-axis, y-axis and z-axis. It is called z-axis and it is called y-axis and it is called x-axis. Okay, then it is x, y and z. The vibrations of the electric field vector taken along the y-axis. So these are the vibrations of electric field vector taken along the y-axis. Okay. Next, the vibrations of the magnetic field vector taken along the z-axis. These are the magnetic field vectors. See here, the vibrations of electric field vector and the vibrations of magnetic field vector, they are mutually perpendicular to each other, and the vibrations of electric field vector occur in the xy plane and the vibrations of the magnetic field vectors occur in the xz plane. It is a xz plane because it is x and it is z now. It is xz plane and the vibrations of electric field vector occur in which plane? Xy plane, because it is x and it is y, then it is a which plane? Xy plane. Then the vibrations of electric field vector and the vibrations of magnetic field vector, they are perpendicular to the direction of propagation of the wave. So x-axis is the direction of propagation of the electromagnetic wave. Okay. So the vibrations of electric field vector responsible for vision. That is why the vibrations of electric field vector taken as the light vibrations. Vibrations of electric field vector. Vibrations of electric field vector responsible for vision. So that is why the electric field vibrations are taken as light vibrations. the electric field vibrations are taken as light vibrations. Now we are going to study about the polarization of light. Okay, so for the polarization of light we are going to consider the electric field vibrations. So that is why we are going to study about the polarization of light by the electric field vibrations. Electric field vibrations are nothing but here the light vibrations. See here, we are not going to consider the magnetic field vibrations. We are going to consider the only the electric field vibrations. To study the polarization of light, we are going to consider the electric field vibrations, because the electric field vibrations are responsible for vision. Okay, so we are going to consider only which vibrations? Electric field vibrations, x-axis and also y-axis. So here the electric field vibrations are taken along the y-axis and the direction of propagation of wave taken along the x-axis. Along the x-axis there is a direction of propagation of wave taken, and along the y-axis the vibrations of electric field vector taken. And it is a purely transverse wave. What are transverse waves here? Here the vibrations are perpendicular to the direction of propagation of wave. See here, these are the vibrations. These vibrations are perpendicular to the direction of propagation of wave. But what are longitudinal waves? In case of longitudinal waves, the vibrations are parallel to the direction of propagation of wave, like this. See, it is the direction of propagation of wave. In case of longitudinal waves, the vibrations are parallel to the direction of propagation of wave, like this. But in case of transverse wave, the vibrations are perpendicular to the direction of propagation of wave. Then both longitudinal waves and transverse waves shows the phenomena like interference and diffraction. Both the longitudinal waves, for example sound waves, and transverse waves, example light waves. And the transverse waves show the phenomena like interference and diffraction. Okay, once again listen here. Both the longitudinal waves and transverse waves show the phenomena like interference and diffraction, but the transverse waves show the phenomena like polarization. Show the phenomena like polarization. Okay, then next we are going to discuss about what is unpolarized light. Unpolarized light is also called as ordinary light. For example, the light from the candle flame, and also it is called ordinary light. Then what do you mean by unpolarized light? The vibrations of the electric field vector occurs in all direction in a plane perpendicular to the direction of propagation of wave. It is called unpolarized light. And also this can be defined as light from a source having the vibrations in all directions in a plane perpendicular to the direction of propagation of wave. See here, it is a plane. This plane having the vibrations of electric field vector in all directions. Okay, this is a plane now. This plane having the vibrations of electric field vector in all directions means the vibrations of light. Electric field vibrations also called as the light vibrations, and it is the direction of propagation of wave. It is the direction of propagation of wave. The direction of propagation of Then how to represent the unpolarized light? Representation of unpolarized light. Then what is the definition of unpolarized light? The vibrations of electric field vector occurs in all directions. Occurs in all directions in a plane perpendicular to the direction of propagation of wave. This plane is perpendicular to the direction of propagation of wave. In a plane perpendicular to the direction of propagation of wave. Then, how to represent the unpolarized light? Representation of unpolarized light. See here, how to represent the unpolarized light. Here the light vibrations in all direction. These are the light vibrations or electric field vibrations which are in all direction. Okay, so this is the representation of unpolarized light, and another way to represent the unpolarized light. It is a double arrow and this is a dot. So what this dot indicates here? This dot indicates the rest directions, means remaining directions. Okay, so this double arrow indicates the vertical vibrations here, but these dot arrows indicate the only remaining directions. And it is the direction of propagation of the unpolarized light. Okay, so what is the representation of unpolarized light here? So the representation of unpolarized light is shown in the diagram here. Here the unpolarized light means here the light vibrations in all directions, and so this plane is perpendicular to the direction of propagation of wave. This is a plane now. This plane is perpendicular to the direction of propagation of wave. Okay, so now the unpolarized light can be represented in two ways. First way is this one, second way is this one. Here the dot indicates that the directions of the rest of vibration. Next, what is the polarization of light? See here, it is a polaroid. Then what is polaroid here? It is a device which can be used to polarize the unpolarized light. For example, tourmaline crystal. Then it is pass axis, and also it is called a transmission axis. Okay, and also it is called a crystallographic axis, pass axis. Whenever the unpolarized light is made to pass through the polarized, this is unpolarized light. Already we know that the representation of unpolarized light. This is unpolarized light, and which can be allowed to pass through the polarized, means which can be allowed to incident on the polarized. What is the example for polarized? That is nothing but tourmaline crystal. Polarized can be used to polarize the light, and also polarized can be used to analyze the polarized light. Okay, analyze means to see. So next, see here, the vibrations of the light which are parallel to the path axis can be transmitted through the path axis of the polarized. Okay, these only pass through the transmission axis of the polarized. Which vibrations? The vibrations, these are the vibrations. These vibrations which are parallel to the path axis, they can pass through the path axis here. Okay, only these vibrations pass through the transmission axis. Then remaining vibrations are absorbed by the polarized. Then the light is said to be plane polarized. Then light is said to be plane polarized. It is called plane polarized. It is called plane polarized. Okay, see here. Then what about remaining vibrations? See here, these are the vibrations which are parallel to the transmission axis. They can pass through the transmission axis. Then the light is said to be polarized. Then remaining vibrations, these vibrations are absorbed by the polarized. Only these vibrations can be passed through the transmission axis. Then the light is said to be plane polarized. Means ordinary light or unpolarized light is said to be plane polarized. Then what is the intensity of unpolarized light? That is I0. But intensity of the plane polarized light, that is I0 by 2. Means here the intensity of plane polarized light is reduced by 2. Okay. So this is about the explanation of polarization of light. Then the definition of polarization of light. Definition of polarization of light. Then how to define the polarization of light? It is the phenomenon in which the vibrations of light wave restricted to only one plane. Which plane? Restricted to only one plane, but not to this plane, but not to this plane, but not to this plane. But here restriction to only one plane. So this phenomenon is called the polarization of light. It is the phenomenon. It is the phenomenon in which the vibrations of light wave, restricted to one plane. Once again, here it is restricted to only one plane. Okay, but not to this plane, but not to this plane. Okay, it is restricted to only one plane. It is the phenomenon in which the vibrations of light wave restricted to one plane perpendicular to the direction of propagation of wave. Perpendicular to the direction of propagation of wave. Perpendicular to the direction of propagation of wave. So this is the definition of polarization of light. Once again listen here. It is the phenomenon in which the vibrations of light wave, these vibrations of light wave only restricted to one plane. Which plane? This plane. Only restricted to one plane perpendicular to perpendicular to the direction of propagation of wave. It is the direction of propagation of wave and it is a perpendicular plane. Okay, so this phenomenon of light is called polarization of light. Then what is plane polarized light? Then how to represent the plane polarized light? See, plane polarized light is nothing but it is the light wave having the vibrations in only one plane perpendicular to the direction of propagation of wave. It is the light wave. It is the light wave having the vibrations in only one plane. Vibrations in only one plane. So perpendicular to the direction of propagation of wave. It is the light wave having the vibrations in one plane perpendicular to the direction of propagation of wave. Perpendicular to the direction of propagation of wave. Okay, so this is called plane polarized light. Once again listen here. It is the light having the vibrations in one plane. Light having the vibrations in one plane perpendicular to the direction of propagation of wave. Okay, so it is called plane polarized light. How to represent the plane polarized light? Already shown in the figure here. Representation of plane polarized light. Representation of plane polarized light. So see, here the unpolarized light is polarized. Means here the vibrations of the light wave occurs in only one plane, but not in all plane. They occurs in only one plane. Okay, so here the vibrations are parallel to the plane of the paper. Now let us take it is the plane of the board. Okay, here the vibrations are parallel to the plane of the paper. Okay, here the vibrations are parallel to the plane of the paper. When the vibrations are parallel to the plane of the paper, then we are going to represent the plane polarized like this. Okay, vibrations are parallel to the plane of the paper. If the vibrations are, it is the plane of the paper and these are the vibrations now, are perpendicular to the plane of the paper. It is the plane of the paper. It is the plane of the paper and these are the vibrations. If the vibrations are perpendicular to the plane of the paper, then how to represent the plane polarized light? See here the vibrations are parallel to the plane of the paper, they can be represented like this one. If the vibrations are perpendicular to the plane of the paper, how to represent them? It is the direction of propagation of the wave. Again it is the direction of the propagation of the wave. If the vibrations are perpendicular to the direction of, or if the vibrations are perpendicular to the plane of the paper, then we are going to represent the plane polarized like this. Means these vibrations only pass through the path axis, but not these vibrations. So when we are going to arrange the polaroid like this, it is path axis only which vibrations can be passed through the pass axis here? These vibrations only pass through the pass axis. Okay, and these vibrations are perpendicular to the plane of the paper. Let us take it is the plane of the paper, and these are the vibrations which are perpendicular to the plane of the paper. So that can be represented by this symbol. Okay, and here the vibrations are perpendicular to the plane of the paper. Plane of the paper. Okay. Then next we are going to discuss about what do you mean by plane of vibration and what do you mean by plane of polarization. See. Once again, let us consider it is a Polaroid that can be used to polarize the unpolarized light. It is transmission axis through which the vibrations of light wave can be passed. So the vibrations which are parallel to the pass axis can pass through the polarizer here. Okay, this is unpolarized light, beam of unpolarized light. So listen here, this is a unpolarized light. Okay, and this is, and which vibrations are passed through the pass axis here? Only these vibrations, because these vibrations are parallel to the pass axis. Then remaining vibrations are absorbed by the Polaroid. Then here intensity is reduced. Okay, intensity of the light is reduced. Then it is a unpolarized light and it is a plane polarized light. Then what is plane of vibration? It is the plane which contains the light vibrations, means the vibrations of the light. So let us take it is A, B, C and D. So what is the plane of vibration here? Plane of vibration is nothing but it is the plane which contains the vibrations of the light wave. Okay, that is called the plane of vibration. It is called plane of vibration. Plane of vibration. Then next, plane of polarization. It is the plane which is perpendicular to the plane of vibration. What is the plane of polarization? See here. It is the plane which is perpendicular to the plane of vibration. It is called plane of polarization. P, Q, R, S. P, Q, R, S is the perpendicular to the plane of. So next topic is, that is very important topic, Malus law. Then what it tells here? Then we are going to determine the intensity of the plane polarized light by using the Malus law. So see here, whenever we are going to use the two Polaroids, one Polaroid is used to polarize the light and another Polaroid is used to analyze the plane polarized light. Analyze means to observe. It is a first Polaroid. So transmission axis of the first Polaroid. So what is the example for Polaroid? That is a tourmaline crystal, and it is a second Polaroid. Then this second Polaroid is called analyzer, because we are going to observe the plane polarized light through the analyzer. Okay, so it is called polarizer and it is called analyzer. Both are called polarides. Then whenever we are going to incident the unpolarized light on the polarizer, it is unpolarized light, direction of propagation of unpolarized light. In case of unpolarized light, the vibrations occurs in all directions. So remember here, while representing the unpolarized light, you have to carefully represent the unpolarized light. See, it is not unpolarized light, it is a plane polarized light. Now it is an unpolarized light. Then here the dots indicate that the remaining directions. Okay. Then the vibrations which are parallel to the transmission axis, those are passed through the transmission axis of the polarizer. The remaining vibrations are absorbed by the polarizer. Then the light is said to be polarized, plane polarized. Then the light is said to be plane polarized. Then this plane polarized light having the vibrations parallel to the transmission axis of the analyzer, then the observer can observe the maximum intensity of the plane polarized light which can be emerged from the first polaride, that is polarizer. Okay, so this is unpolarized light. This is unpolarized light. Unpolarized light, but this is plane polarized light. Okay, and this is the intensity of the plane polarized light observed by the observer through the analyzer. And these two polarides are called parallel polarides. Why these two polarides are called parallel polarides here? Because the transmission axis of both polarides are parallel to each other. Let us assume these two are the polarides. Okay, so this is a polarizer and this is a analyzer, and it is the transmission axis of polarizer and it is the transmission axis of analyzer. Okay, so if they are held parallel to each other, then we will see the maximum intensity of the plane polarized light. Suppose to be, I will rotate the analyzer by 90 degree. Then what happens here? This plane polarized light is absorbed by the analyzer. Then here the intensity is 0. We will get the intensity 0 means it is a dark. Intensity 0 means it is a dark. See here, these two polarides are parallel to each other. When the polarides are said to be parallel to each other or parallel polarides, only when the transmission axes are parallel to each other. This transmission axis and this transmission axis both are parallel to each other. If we are going to rotate the analyzer by 90 degree, then what is the intensity of the plane polarized light observed by the observer? That is a 0. Okay, so means the intensity of the plane polarized light emerged from the analyzer, that depends on the angle between the transmission axis of polarizer and analyzer. Okay, this is very important. That is Malus law. Then the statement for the Malus law. What is the statement for the Malus law? See, the intensity of a transmitted plane polarized light through the analyzer is directly proportional to the square of cosine of angle between the transmission axis of polarizer and analyzer. That depends on angle between the transmission axis of polarizer and analyzer. So when the intensity of the plane polarized light through the analyzer is maximum, only when both the transmission axes are parallel to each other. If they are parallel to each other, theta is 0, then cos 0 is 1. Then we will get the maximum intensity. That is why we are going to use the cos function here. Okay, the intensity of transmitted the intensity of transmitted plane polarized light, plane polarized light, plane polarized light through analyzer. Here that depends on the angle between the transmission axis of both. Okay, through the analyzer is directly proportional to, is directly proportional to, is directly proportional to the square of cosine of angle between transmission axis of polarizer and analyzer. Transmission axis of polarizer. Polarizer means it is a first polarized, and analyzer, it is the statement of Malus law. Okay, so how to write this one mathematically? If the intensity of the plane polarized light from the polarizer is I naught, then what is the intensity of the plane polarized light passing through the analyzer? That is, I will take I, that depends on the angle between the transmission axis of polarizer and analyzer. I will write mathematically, that is, I is directly proportional to, means what is I here? I is nothing but it is the intensity of a transmitted plane polarized light through the analyzer. Okay, that is I is directly proportional to square of cosine of the angle between the transmission axis of polarizer and analyzer. Theta is nothing but it is the angle between the transmission axis of polarizer and analyzer. I will remove the proportionality by using the constant, that is I naught. I is equal to I naught into cos square theta. So what is I naught here? I naught is nothing but it is the intensity of the light emerged from the polarized one or emerged from the polarizer. Okay. So next, what is I here? I is nothing but it is the intensity of the plane polarized light emerged from the analyzer. Okay, where I naught is the intensity of the light from the intensity of light emerged from polarizer. Then what is I? Intensity of the light emerged from analyzer. I is the intensity of light emerged from analyzer. And what is theta here? Theta is the angle between the transmission axis of polarizer and analyzer. Theta is the angle between transmission axis of P and A. I will take P and A in short form. Polarizer and analyzer in terms of P and in terms of A. Okay, P and A. So the intensity of the transmitted light through the analyzer, that depends on the angle between the transmission axis of polarizer and analyzer. So we are going to use the cos here, because if the both polarities are parallel to each other, then they are called parallel polarities. Then the intensity of the transmitted light through the analyzer is maximum, because theta is 0. Otherwise, see here, again I will take, it is a polarizer and it is an analyzer. So here the transmission axes are parallel to each other. When the transmission axes are parallel to each other, the intensity of the transmitted light is maximum. Suppose I will rotate the analyzer by 180 degree. Okay, I again the intensity of the transmitted light is maximum. So if theta is 0 and theta is 180, then the intensity of the transmitted light is maximum. But if theta is 90 degree, then intensity of the transmitted light through the analyzer is 0. Okay, so means we are going to determine the intensity of the transmitted plane polarized light through the analyzer by the Malus law. Okay.